Okay, so now um, we will talk more about, let's say, representing and grouping data. So assume you have 30, uh, the weights of 30, let's say, parcels, cargo boxes that are delivered by, let's say, parcel company like Yurtici Cargo. So there are 30 of them, and these are the weight of these boxes. So 53 kilograms, 53 kilograms, 59 kilograms, and so on and so forth. The heaviest one is 95, and the one that has the least weight is 53 kilograms. So, well, this is the data that we have, but this is the simplest way of showing it. You just put all of them into an Excel sheet, right? And well, okay, that's fine. I just ordered it from the smallest to the largest, but well, um, this does not say too much. Okay, so at first, this does not say too much. So the second thing that we can do for this type of data is just to write the frequency table of this data. So here you have two 53s, 159. You have three 60s, okay, 266, 374s, and so on and so forth, right? So this is the frequency table, right? I have 253, 159, 360s, and so on and so forth. So there are 30 many data we have. But of course, if you think about UT Chicago, if you think about all of the branches of UT Chicago, well, it receives, I don't know, more than thousands or hundred thousands of parcels every day. Okay, so this is only a sample, only a small portion. So if you think about UT Chicago, all of the parcels that come today, of course, it receives cargoes every day. So that's a small portion. Okay? And this is the ratio. Okay, how do you find the ratio? This is 2 divided by 30, okay, which is there. And this is the ratio of the boxes that has a weight of 53 kilograms. This is 59 kilograms, and so on and so forth. Okay? Well, this is what we call a frequency table. So when you look at this table, well, it's better, right? So you can see how many 53 or how many of each of data are present in this table. Okay, that's a better way of visualizing the data. The second, then the next one is just grouping the data. Okay, so what do I mean by grouping? You can say, well, let's see how many boxes do we have between 50 and 59 kilograms. How many of them? 53, 59. You have two and one, so you have three boxes. Okay. How about between 60 and 69? 60 and 69, you have five. How about 70 and 79? 70 and 79, you have 5 again, right? You have 5. How about 80 and 89? That's equal to 80, 89. This is equal to 8. Sorry. So this is 90 and 99, and it will be equal to 9. See? Okay. This is a more compact way of showing your data, and well, now you can understand it better. You see, so um, so you can see that well the amount. So the cargoes becomes heavier. Okay, so the data is accumulated on the heavy side. So you see there are nine boxes which are over 90 kilograms, but only three boxes which is between 50 and 59. So this type of data is called as the group data. Okay, so this is how we group a data. As you see, as we move forward, we can see better ways of representing the data. Okay, so we have the slide there. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, this is fine. Well, just grouping the data, writing the frequency table, and so on and so forth. But sometimes we need some kind of measures, okay, which uh, represents the data in a very, let's say, in a very brief way. So, for example, let us assume there is a book, And so the book, somebody says that, well, here is the summary of the book. So with two or three sentences or with a paragraph, he or she summarizes the book. Okay. So we have too many data here. Okay, not too many, but 30 data, but assume you have thousands of data. And the thing is, how can we summarize the data? How can we how can we just give several numbers which represents the data in a very compact way? Okay. So in fact, we have several measures, of course, but two measures are very important. The first one is the centrality measure, which shows the center of the data. That's, we will see, it shows the center, it shows the let's say some kind of a weighted average, and the dispersion, which shows how much data is spread around, especially spread around the mean. Okay. Okay, so again, the center, which is measured by the averages and also the deviations. Well, uh, so how does the data scatter around the center? It is represented by the deviations. Okay, so we have several types of measures for the averages. So one is the very famous one is arithmetic average, of course, but we also have the geometric average, the harmonic average, the median, and the mode. Okay. Okay, so how do we find the mean? Okay, the arithmetic mean. Um, so for if you're talking about a sample where you just pick data from the population, okay, for example, about this class uh, is a sample of the population of the university, then we will call it as the sample, okay, sample mean. Um, so very simply, it's the average of the observations that you have. Okay. And again, if you're talking about a sample, then we will show it as the X bar. So why do I say if you're talking about a sample, you may be able to find the height of all of the students in the university. Okay. You may able to find the height of all of the students, 30,000 many students. Assume you have 30,000 students in your university. Then if you are able to find the height of all of them, then take the average, then it won't be X bar, but it will be something different, which we will call as mu. Okay, we will see it in a minute, but for now, let's just concentrate on the X bar, which is the sample mean. So this is the mean, okay, calculated when you have the data as a dispersion series. Just go back. Okay, just look at here. You can find the average of this data. Just take sum all of them and divide it by 30. But for example, how about this? How do you find the average of this data? Simply what you do is you just multiply 53 by 2 because you have two boxes of weight 53. Okay. You just multiply them, then multiply this, then multiply this, and so on and so forth, and then sum them up. Okay. And then divide it by 30. Right? Okay. And this shows how you calculate the average of a frequency series. Okay. X1 times F1, X2 times F2 dot 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 divided by the total frequency. So this is a frequency series. So there are sometimes weighted averages. For example, when you're calculating your GPA, that's a weighted average. Well, it's the same formula, but that's not a big deal, right? The only thing that you have here is it's t. So in fact, well, just cancel this. So you have just two ways of calculating the averages, okay? Because it's pretty much the same with the frequency series. Okay. So I have an example here. What we do is we have 8 many workers, and this is the average. This is the income of these 8 workers. So um, let's find the average income of these workers. So what you do is just sum them up and divide it by 8, which is 1,100. Okay. Um, so again, this is an example for parcels of a company. There are 10 parcels, 10 boxes, let's say, and these are the weight. So one of them is the 10 kilograms, two of them is 20 kilograms, 34 of them is 30 kilograms, and so on and so forth. So just find the mean parcel weight. So what you should do is just multiply them, okay, 10 This is 20, and this is what? This is 120. This is 80, and this is 50. Okay, just sum them up, which is 250, 280, right? Divided by total number, which is 10. That's equal to 28. So that's the average weight of these boxes. Okay. Okay, so sorry for this. This is sorry. This is 40, right? Which means this is 300 divided by 10. So this is equal to 30, right? So another way of writing this is, let me see, this is 10 times 1 plus 20 times 2. I know, well, it's very easy, but please um, just wait for a minute. Plus 50 times 1, okay? So what you do is you just divide it by what? Divide it by 10, okay? So you can just write it like this, 10 times 1 divided by 10, okay? Plus 20 times 2 divided by 10, plus 30 times 4 divided by 10, plus 40 times 2 divided by 10, and 50 times 1 divided by 10, okay? Which is also equal to what? 30. So what is this? 1 divided by 10, 2 divided by 10, 4 divided by 10, 2 divided by 10. So these are in fact the ratios of the occurrences, okay? So um, so this is equal to what? 0.1, okay? And this is what? 0.2, 0.4, this is 0.2, and this is 0.1. So in fact, you can find the average of these boxes by multiplying this one and this one, plus this one and this one, okay? Plus this one and this one, right? Okay. So these are, let's say, the proportions. Let me show it by pi. Okay, the proportions of these observations. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Later, I will just I will talk about this in a more detailed way. Okay. So this is the group series, okay? So, well, how can we find the average of a group series? Well, here the thing is that, well, so I know that there are seven data. There are seven, so this is, we select 100 many companies, and these are the amount of taxes paid by the companies, okay? Um, so there are seven companies whose taxes are between 100 and 200,000 Turkish liras, 18 companies whose taxes are between 200 and 300,000 Turkish liras, and so on and so forth. So the question is, well, what is the average tax paid by these 100 companies? Well, I know that there are seven many companies between these two, but I don't know where are they. So it can be 115, 128, 152, and so on and so forth. So I'm talking about in the first, I'm talking about the first interval, let's say 195, 196. Okay, so I don't know where the I don't know the distribution inside this interval. Okay, I don't know the exact distribution. This is the only data that I have. So what I do in these of group data, I just take the middle point. Okay, I just convert this group series into a frequency series, right? So I just convert this to frequency series by how? By just taking the middle of these 2 points. So I will say this is 150. Okay, and I will assume that there are seven observations which are there are seven companies whose taxes are 150. It's not the case, I know, but this is the best thing that I can have, that I can calculate. So there are, again, just take the average of these two, 350, 450, and this is what, 550. So now I have a frequency series here. Then calculate the average of these frequency series. Okay, right? See, this is the averages, and then multiply by 7 and divide it by 100. Or as we do before, you can just write the proportions here. So this is 0 0.07, 0 0.18, 0 0.25, 0.30, and 0.20, okay, and multiply it with the corresponding xi values and sum them up to find the averages, which is 388 Turkish liras. Okay, so let's stop here and we will continue in the next video.